Welcome back to the 2 Point Show, where we give you the latest sports rundown. We are your hosts, Gideon and Joey, breaking down stories, giving hot takes, and interviewing athletes around the world. From buzzer beaters to bold predictions, we will give you fresh analysis, real opinions, and some fun arguments along the way. So whether you're tuning in on your drive, in the gym, or simply on your couch, get ready for a good one. This is the 2 Point Show. What's up, guys? We're back for another episode of the 2 Point Show today, and we've got a special guest. We've got a Michigan State. He is now officially transferred here, and he is a safety senior. We've got Mike Richards in the building. Mike, thank you so much for coming on to the show, man.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, of course. My dad, I guess, he knows someone that you know, and it's kind of like all connected this way. He knows somebody, so it's really cool to have you on. And obviously another Michigan State guy. You know, I'm a Michigan State guy. We're just banging out Michigan State players here. But, yeah, little story for you guys about Mike. Mike is from New Orleans, Louisiana. He is a safety who played at Louisiana Tech for 3 years, and he decided to enter the transfer portal, and he ended up committing to the Michigan State Spartans. He is now a senior, and he is a player with a strong motor, a story worth hearing, and big goals for his senior year at Michigan State. So we're going to dive into this with Mike, and we're going to have a good time. So, Mike, I just want to ask you, like, an opening question here. Just so far, how do you like Michigan State, and how do you like being on a big campus?
I actually like it. I'm gonna change it. I actually love it. It's real different. It's different for me. Just coming from down south, coming up north, and just dealing with like the snow, the ice, the weather. You know, that was the biggest adjustment so far. But other than that, like the people is real welcoming. Just meeting different people on campus, meeting the teachers. Just basically letting them know like that I'm a new transfer and that I'm new. Everybody been welcoming me with open arms. I've been able to meet like just different people. I'm in a fraternity, so meeting the guys like on this campus that in the same frat as me, they've been helping me out a lot, meeting a new teammates, you know, just different things like that. So the adjustment of coming up here has been real smooth. Like, you know, I actually enjoy it.
Nice.
Very cool.
How do you enjoy the weather? Are you?
At first it was kind of hard, like just waking up in the morning, getting ready for practice. When you walk outside and that first like wind hit you, it's kind of like, oh, like man. But kind of like since from like now to then, I guess you could say I'm adjusted. You know, it's real cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, we'll go to one of our first topics. It's kind of just how did you tell us how you got into football? You know, did you pick it up when you were born? Were you a basketball player first? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, my mom always told me that when I was younger, my dad, like from birth, just always had me around football. He was a college athlete himself. He played at the HBCU, Southern University, in Baton Rouge, and he actually was like a football coach, like in our area, like growing up in the park. Like he always coached like all the park ball teams. So when I was coming up, I was always around that, and I started at about 4. Me and my dad, he was actually my football coach. And he actually had me in all sports. Like I was actually like a 3-sport athlete, played football, baseball, and basketball. But kind of as I started getting older, it was more like just football, baseball. That was the two I kind of focused on the most. Yeah.
So you would say your dad was kind of your role model growing up, or like your guy who was like always with you with the sports. Like you would say him as like your main role model.
Early ages, just due to the fact that's a whole like different topic, but like early ages for sure. But I say after about age 8, 9, it kind of been more my mom because like she was just my biggest supporter. So it was like, you know, just making sure I go do it for her, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like, tell us about like how much football were you really playing when you were younger? Like, were you traveling across the country? Were you just playing on these crazy teams, or were you just kind of local? I want to hear about it.
I play like I said, I've been playing since I was 4. At Garetti Park, that's in New Orleans East, and we actually turned into a travel team. Started 9 and 10 year. We started calling ourselves Crescent City Saints. So it was big, like all the park ball teams amongst the city. Like our coaches, we kind of partnered with a few parks, and we started traveling. Like we'll go to like a tournament in Alabama. We went to like Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Pensacola, Florida, like things like that. You know, just getting that exposure at a young age, getting that experience. So, like, I kind of been playing football like for the longest, like just traveling, going everywhere, and then that kind of led into 7-on-7. Once I started getting a little bit older, I started that in like 8th grade, and then yeah.
Nice.
Did you what did you play offense at all when you were younger or?
When I was younger, I actually played quarterback.
Wow.
I
Oh,
was yeah, I was a big quarterback guy. My little nickname they used to call me on the park was Russell Wilson because I used to have the like the little short hair with the curls. So
Nice.
and I used to wear number 3. So like that was kind of like my I guess you could say who they used to call me or whatnot. And I was a big Seahawks fan at one point in time. Just just with watching Russell Wilson and Percy Hall and just everybody like all the guys, Marshawn Lynch, things like that. So yeah, I was a quarterback guy at first.
very cool.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, what are you most proud of so far in your college career and your football journey?
Um, Honestly, just never giving up. I'm a little undersized, so when you be doubted and the odds stacked against you, and some guys, some coaches or some players might not believe in you, just being able to like not give up on yourself and just always have that confidence, like you'll be able to make something happen. Like and that's the most thing I'm proud of, honestly.
Yeah. So let's just kind of go into the recruitment process out of high school. When did you first realize that, hey, I could actually be a college football player?
Um,
Division 1 at that case.
Yeah.
Division 1, I'd say my junior year. My sophomore year, I picked up my first offer after the season, but my junior year was kind of, I guess you could say, I had that confidence in myself, like I could actually play in college. I was able to. We had did like we do the high school 7-on-7s, like the high schools you go against the different high schools over the state. Whether that'd be at University of Lafayette or we went to the LSU tournament. We had went to Alabama. So my junior year, we had went to the Alabama tournament. This was when Nick Saban was still a coach there, and
Mm.
we had a receiver on our team that was committed to Alabama. So that whole like weekend, like we had like the attention from like Nick Saban and like just the different guys on his staff, like that whole tournament. So we ended up making it to the championship game, and we went against I think the team name was like Centenary or Center. It's something like I don't really remember. It started with a C though, and they had like all type of like 4 stars, 5 stars, like just highly recruited guys. And I was actually like going against one of the Alabama commits, and just that like that game kind of told me like like you can actually compete with guys that's going they got these big names and these big stars and these like just overall attention and that. I'd say like yeah, my junior year.
Who were the Bama guys? Who were a couple of the players if you're able to shout them out?
On my team it was Aaron Anderson. He played
Okay.
receiver. Yeah, he plays at LSU now. He just declared for the draft. He was a year older than me. He was a class of 22.
Okay.
So me and him actually going against each other every day at practice. It kind of just translated to have that confidence in the game. And I think his name like Jalen Hell or Jalen. I'm talking. He played receiver. I think he been hurt at Alabama, so he haven't had the chance to really like play for real.
Yeah.
But his name like Jalen Hell, I believe, and that's the guy I was going against.
Cool, man. That's really cool. So you were going against some pretty big athletes early
Nah,
on. You kind of realized you were ready to go.
for sure, for
That's
sure.
really cool. Mike, you were at first, before even Louisiana Tech, you were committed to UTSA. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. That
So
was
yeah, you were first there, and then you decided to flip to Louisiana Tech to go to your freshman year. What made you switch?
I actually it wasn't my choice to switch. I actually got dropped.
Oh
Okay.
man.
The defensive coordinator and safety coach had came to my spring game that year, and I was committed before the spring game, and they had came watch me play. But after the game, like that next day, they had came to my head coach. They felt like I was too small, wasn't big enough, wasn't fast enough, and they actually dropped me. So what made me go with the decision with Louisiana Tech was while I was committed to UTSA, they never stopped like recruiting me. Like every day, like I'm talking about text messages, phone calls. They'll come to when they had the opportunity to come to the school. They'll come talk to me, and then close like when that situation ended up happening, one of my real good childhood friends had passed away, and it was never about football with them. Like after that point forward, it was strictly about how I am mentally or how I am as a person. So it was kind of no brainer at that point.
So how did you deal with that mentally? Getting cut like that and then going to play Division One. Where did that put you mindset
Man,
wise?
if I take like honestly, that kind of drove me my senior year, like to like want to be one of those like guys to like prove people wrong. Like that was kind of the first time I guess you could say that kind of happened to me directly, as far as saying a coach basically telling you to your face like, "Hey, you too small, or you're not fast enough, you're not big enough." You kind of always hear that, but like being that said to your face, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of struck a nerve. It kind of like made me lose like that self confidence in a sense. But my high school head coach, Coach Bryce, told me you one of the best. Like, don't ever feel like no matter what nobody else may think about you or feel about you, like you know how you feel about yourself. You know the work that you put in. So that kind of like just kind of drove me and motivated me to like have the senior year that I had.
Well, hey man, respect to you, man, and to keep pushing through like that. That's really awesome, and everything happens for a reason. So,
Nah,
and
so
now you're here, so that's really cool.
That's right. Yeah. Just kind of tell us about your career at Louisiana Tech. Just freshman, sophomore, junior. Just kind of take us on a timeline. I'd say.
whew, journey at La Tech, man, it was one for the books. Like, I actually love my time at Louisiana Tech. I appreciate the relationships I built over the time, the teammates, the coaches, the guys, the professors. Like, it was wonderful. Going into my freshman year, I early enrolled, so like I was a mid-year enrollee. So I kind of got a jump on most guys in my class, I guess you could say. They kind of took me in early. It was a real good experience, just getting in the weight room, getting to learn the terminology and the playbook and things of that nature. That whole off season, uh, I was trying to get used to like the college workouts. I guess you could say that was like a big adjustment for me, just different
Right.
things and the terminology like our strength coaches were using. I wasn't like used to that at all, so that was kind of like I guess you could say a learning curve for me or a learning bump. Um, but then going into like that spring ball, my first day like one on ones and like 7-on-7, like I had a real good day. Like it was like so fun for me, and that kind of like helped my confidence. I guess you could say like just being that like I was the only freshman on campus, so like being the only freshman and then going against like guys as seniors or juniors, it was kind of like man, like it was happening fast, but I was I guess you could say standing my ground, like standing on all 10. And going into fall camp, I was battling with this guy named DeMarcus Griffin. He was like the star nickel because I was playing nickel at the time, and he was a Houston transfer, but he was like really good. So like honestly, if I'm being honest, I ain't have no intention on like playing like my freshman year, like because I kind of just like knew he was like the guy, I guess you could say,
Right.
and I was really just trying to learn from him if anything because he was like really smart and real skillful, and I used to look to him as a big brother, so he used to always help me out. But then he ended up getting hurt the first game of the year, and I'm on the sideline. I honestly wasn't even paying attention to the game, and all I heard them say was, "Oh, Mike, 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 Mike," and I'm like me, like I'm going in, like so. And then after that, I started the rest of the year. That next week, we ended up playing SMU, and I guess you could say I kind of had like one of my best college games like of my career, and I kind of just took off from that moment, and then just learning and growing in the game. It was a lot of good days, a lot of bad days, but I really like enjoyed my freshman year, like all the ups and downs. Like I enjoyed it. Going into my sophomore year, uh, ended up getting a new defensive staff, a new defensive coordinator, a new safety coach. But the safety coach he had actually coached at Louisiana Tech before. The guy for the Detroit Lions, Meek Robertson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually coached him. Like that was his coach.
Wow.
So he had
Oh,
came back
very
from
cool.
yeah, he had came back from my sophomore year. So me and him had built like a real good like off the field relationship. So it kind of like helped me on the field just because he was like a real family oriented guy. Like he kind of treated me like as his own son. And I like learned from him. He played in the league for like 10 years, and he played at Notre Dame. And he was like he highly respected, and he was just like giving me so much knowledge, like just about football and just about life in general. So that kind of helped me like grow as a player, like on and off the field. I ended up getting injured my sophomore year. After like game 4, I had a concussion, like a real bad concussion. I had to get airlifted
Oh
um
man,
Ooh.
to the hospital because I had
from the
I,
field or
yeah, from the field. I ended up getting knocked out, and
Oh my goodness.
I ended up catching a seizure on the field. So
Oh my goodness, dude.
yeah, I had to get airlifted to the hospital. The hospital like was like an hour away. Um, so I rode in a helicopter. Then I had to sit out like 3 games after that. And the coaches were kind of having that conversation with me, like, do you like want to play this year or do you not? They was kind of like leaving it up to me, just because I was dealing with like, I guess you could say the mental battles of just being scared to go back out there, like, because it was a
Right.
I'm
real
sure.
scary incident. And but I ended up like I ain't want to quit like on my team, like that never been me, like just to quit. So I was just like I started going to therapy and stuff like that just to help with just getting that mental block out of my head. Because if I being honest, I was going to watch that play like 3 4 times a day, like just trying to see like what I did wrong or where I went wrong at. And
For sure.
but I ended up finishing out my sophomore year. Pretty decent year, really. Then it was real good just to finish out healthy. But my junior year, we ended up getting another defensive staff. So you had to learn a whole new playbook, learn a whole new scheme, learn new coaches, new personalities. But I really enjoyed my junior year. Like this past year, I learned a lot about like just football. Like my coach, he was like a football guru, like just ins and outs, like X's and O's, and just how to watch film, how to know splits, how to understand tendencies about receivers and things like that. Like he helped me out, like growing tremendously. Like honestly, like he slowed the game down for me completely. Like I really appreciated him for that. Like my junior year was like it was real fun. Like just from the team to like off the field, school, like everything. Like it was actually a good experience.
Very cool. That's a really cool story, man. And the fact to come back from a big injury like that, I mean, that's got to be scary, but that just shows like confidence and it's really cool, man. That's very cool.
Respect to you for sticking out two new staffs too. That's awesome,
Nah, for sure.
especially in this day. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So, Mike, what truly decided? You were there for Louisiana Tech. You were telling us you're telling us you had a great time. What decided that it was you wanted to try somewhere new and hit the transfer portal?
It was actually like a tough decision, like, cause honestly, if I'm being honest, at first I didn't want to leave, like at all. But like I said, my position coach, me and him had a real good relationship, cause he actually from my city, like he from New Orleans, so we kind of like had that, I guess you could say a bond different than everybody else in the room, just cause we understand like how we both grew up. And he coached at like Ole Miss, Purdue, Mizzou, and I believe in Arkansas. And he coached this. I don't know if y'all heard about the situation with the guy Greg Brooks from LSU. He ended
Oh
up
yeah.
having like the brain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he actually coached him while he was at Arkansas, and he
Uh huh.
from New Orleans as well. We the same
Okay.
size. We the same size, and he used to always tell me like, "Bro, you remind me of Greg so much." And I guess you could say he was like the first coach besides like my high school coach to actually tell me like you could go play at a bigger school or like at a bigger conference. And he used to always tell me like from like the first time he accepted the job, like I'm gonna get you from Louisiana Tech, like I'm gonna get you from out of here, like you gonna leave. And I'm like for real? He like yeah, like you gonna go bigger. And I'm like you mean that? He like from this day forward, like we gonna put in the work. So from the classroom to the film room to everything, like he just always told me like you'll be able to go do it. So just throughout the whole season, probably after every game, like he'd just come up to me like, we got 10 more games or we got 8 more games, like 6 more games. So and at the end of the year, he kind of just told me like, you deserve it. Like you put in the work all year. I saw you grind, and just after conversations with him and then just my family back at home, it was kind of just like, it's time. Like that's really it.
Nice.
Respect.
Nice.
I respect it. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what ultimately led to this decision to come home to the Sparty.
Um, Actually, like my visit, one of the main things I kept harping on is I'm a big family guy, like relationship built. Like I'm not like because the football is gonna always be there, like, and at some point it's gonna end. And I want to be able to say like I could call this coach, I could call these players like at any given time, like, hey coach, like I'm going through this, or hey coach, like this happened, can I talk to you? You know, and like that's what I got at Louisiana Tech. So I always want to make sure like if I'm going to leave La Tech, I need to have something that I had here at my next destination. And on the visit, even before the visit, like from like the day the portal open and just talking to Coach Adams and Coach Rossi, like they was like the conversation was just genuine. Like I could just tell throughout the phone. Like it was never once they asked me nothing dealing with football. Like it was strictly like I said, like asking about me from like a mental standpoint and like how I am as a person. So once I went on a visit, from like as soon as I got off the airport, just the whole interaction from the airport leading to the facility was like just one of one. Like it was a real good experience. And when I was telling these coaches, like I'm asking questions like asking Coach Fitz, like how you feel about the open door policy, like meaning like I could just come in your office and just sit down and talk, and just hearing him say like, first of all, my door is never closed. Like you could come in at any given moment, like if you just want to talk about anything, like because at the end of the day, this 15 hours from my crib, this 1,000 miles away, so like I gotta be able to talk to somebody, you know. So just having that open conversation, I guess you could say communication with Coach Adams and Coach Rossi, like on a visit, and Coach Fitz, they was like just real welcoming and like real genuine, and I could just tell like they built like the same way I'm built. Like we might not speak the same or talk the same, but we understand each other, if that makes sense. And like my mom, she was sick on my visit. Like when we came on a visit, she was sick, and I'm like just peeping, like just seeing how they was moving with her. Like they was taking like real good care of my mom, like the whole time, like
That's
water,
awesome.
medicine, food, constant texts, constant calls. Coach Adams' wife, I think my mom and her like real friends now. Like they actually like talk to each other like now. So just that whole like just experience, it was like, why not? Like this what I asked for. So like why wait or why not? You know, just make this decision happen. You know.
Right. Very
Yeah.
cool, man. So, when you first got to Michigan State, what would you say surprised you the most? It could be football, it could be the people. What surprised you the most? Anything.
The snow. I ain't never seen like seeing the snow was like crazy. Like that was crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I'm just
Dude, yeah. You
like
good,
it was
Gideon?
because you kind of just always see like snow on like movies or like TV, but like seeing it actually in person, it was like crazy. Like
Especially probably like you've probably never lived in snow.
never,
So,
never,
yeah,
never.
it's a huge change for sure. And like walking to class freezing your butt off and driving like it's terrible, man. I'll tell you.
Man, man,
Winter time's rough here.
real rough. Real
So,
rough.
tell us about your relationship so far with Coach Pat Fitzgerald. He's brand new. You're brand new to Michigan State. Just tell us about your connection.
It's been real good. Day in and day out, even when he was away, like he did constant check-ins. Just hitting me up through like text, just saying like, "Hey, just checking in on you, buddy. Like everything all good." When we at the facility, I actually had ran into him on his way out, and I could tell he had to go somewhere, but he was like, "Hey, you need to talk?" And I'm like, "Just want to talk to you right quick." And we kind of just had like a quick little conversation, just telling him about a situation I was dealing with back at home. So, it's been real cool, like just that genuine relationship that we constantly building, like day in and day out.
He seems like a really good dude so
Nah, for
far.
Yeah.
sure.
As a Michigan State guy I've been growing up with MSU like all of my life, I think he's going to be a good hire for Michigan State.
Nah, for sure, for sure.
What's your first impression, in that locker room with your teammates, with just what's the vibe in the locker room that you see?
I see like focus, if that makes sense. Like it's a lot of guys that understand like what's at stake. I guess you could say just understanding the culture that we're constantly building every day. Like from day one, just instilling like a new identity and understanding like what's happened in the past is done. Like now is like we gotta focus like where our feet at, and just seeing guys come in and day out, body sore, bodies hurting, legs hurting, back hurting, but we just working. Like the conversation is like I don't get no cancerous vibe, and that was kind of like the conversation I guess you could say I hear from the guys that was on the team last year that's returning, and like everybody just like real cool, if that makes sense. Like the conversations are healthy, everybody supporting each other. We just Like we just focus. Like we everybody got their head on straight and we pulling in the same direction.
Very cool. So let's talk about your football like development a little bit and like year by year. So I just want to know what's one part of your game you've improved the most on since the past season last year.
I would definitely say tackling. Um, my freshman year and sophomore year, I wasn't like I guess you could say a consistent tackler. I used to miss a lot of tackles just due to the fact I used to like kind of dive, if that makes sense. Like just try to throw my body in there and
Yeah.
hope for the best, you know. And this past season, my coach, Coach Carter, he had like day in and day out, before practice, after practice, he had us like out there and we just learning techniques and just I guess you could say he was giving us a toolbox as far as saying like everybody not gonna tackle the same. Everybody can't tackle the same. So he was just giving us different tools of ways to tackle and like just seeing what worked for you, if that makes sense. And then at the end of the day, it just boiled down to want to. And like day in and day out, sometimes we wasn't even hitting each other, but just working the technique, just coming up to a guy, breaking down, staying square and just understanding like angles and how to cut people off. Like that's what we did, and that's what I improved on.
Right.
Nice.
Cool.
Walk us through your film sessions. You know, as a safety, what do you prepare for? What do you just tell us a little bit about that.
So honestly, like say Sunday come on, I'll watch the team first game that they played of the year, and then I'll watch the last game that they just played, just to see like no stops really, no like pauses. I just want to kind of see like if I kind of pick up on anything that like a difference from the beginning of the year to now. And then I'll
I
kind
like
of
that.
just wait it out. So then Monday will come. So whatever we pretty much have for the schedule for that day, I'll do. But once I get back home, I'll kind of just go through first down just to see like who they are on coming out or like the start of a drive or the start of a turnover first down. Just kind of see like depending on where they at on the field. Then Wednesday, like I said, based off the schedule for like what coach I have for us. And Tuesday, I'll kind of start leaning on to like second down, shot downs, kind of see who they are like at midfield, things like that. Then on Wednesday, that's when I get into like my third down and just trying to see like, okay, if it's third and short, do they just take a shot going for it on fourth? Like, those kind of things, just trying to see who they are. Are they a quick game team or they're like trying to just get to the sticks? Things like that. Just trying to get a feel for like the quarterback. Because honestly, the quarterback really tell you everything. Like, if you just look at the quarterback the whole time you watching film, he's going to let you know like, okay, third down, every third down, this is pretty much his guy. Like, if he wear number 11, he might go to number 11 on this third down. So that's kind of
Right.
that's kind of the things like I'm picking up on, just trying to see.
No,
And
that's
then
cool. I
and
like
then
that.
then on Thursday, that's typically like a walkthrough day, like at the facility and like with the team. But when I get home, that's when I kind of watch the TV copy because I want to see
Right.
like how the tempo is and like how fast they line up when they break the huddle. If a receiver like tighten up his gloves or he hurry up and get into the line because they know he about to get the ball, or is this a run game like down? Just things like that. I want to see like how the
Yeah.
TV, how the TV copy look. Friday, another fast Friday, just a walkthrough day.
Yep.
Typically, like you have meetings with like the team and things like that. But if we had a hotel, like for the home game or away game, when I get back to my room, I'll watch like kind of the cut ups that typically like coach a place for us. And I kind of just see like, okay, like this more of the top pass concepts, this more of the top run concepts, and I kind of just harp on those. Typically, like what I got at Louisiana Tech, our coach used to always give us little packets of like tendencies or like typically there'll be a quiz on there, and I kind of just go through that quiz, and coach will probably ask like, "What's their top 5 pass concept?" And then like I just make sure I write it out, just so I can have that kind of like just playing in my head. And one of the things my coach taught me this past year was when I'm watching this film and I'm writing out these top pass concepts, kind of picture what you think coach will call to this pass or to this formation, if that makes sense, or to this
Yeah.
run formation. And I started doing that typically on Friday just because I kind of had a feel for what my coach was calling. And yeah, and I just kind of play the game in my head. Saturday, we'll wake up calls, go through everything pretty much. And when you get that little break, like at midday, if it's a later game, I kind of watch like just one more game full, just all the way through. But at that point, I kind of have a feel for like what they really do, and yeah, just ready to play at that point.
Nice. I
Man,
like that. I like the. I keep saying this. I keep going back to it. I like how you check them out week 1 and then you check them out like week 8 or something.
Yeah,
That's cool to me.
for sure.
So, give us quickly here. Give us your top 2 quick fire. Top 2 toughest players you've ever lined up against.
Aaron Anderson and I don't remember the guy's name, but he played at SMU. I don't remember his name though.
Okay.
But I'm gonna just skip him. I'm gonna go Malachi Curley or Hurley. I think that's his name. He
Yeah.
played at
Okay.
he played at Western Kentucky. He ended up getting drafted to the Jets in 24, I believe. Yeah,
Okay.
24.
Nice.
nice.
And why were they so tough?
Aaron, just because like Aaron just so explosive. Like it's just his cuts, his breaks. He make every route look the same. You kind of never really got no tips with him because he could jog off the ball and then just take off on you, like, or
Right.
he'll. And he's like one of those. He's one of those scatty receivers that could get the ball on a smoke screen and like come run you over, like. So you really never know. Like you just kind of just got to bring your A game with him.
Yeah.
Same thing with the dude Malachi from Western Kentucky. He was like I guess you could say a dual threat receiver. Like he was in the backfield, played receiver. They was giving him screens. Like he was just a jack of all trades. So just going into that week, I kind of just knew like I had to bring like everything I had. Like
Right. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Tell us a little bit about your goals that you're setting for your last year, your senior year.
I actually haven't thought like more thoroughly, like fully what I want. I really just want to win, like with the team. Going
Good
into
goal. Always.
like last year, that was like my first winning season, like at Tech, because my first 2 years we had losing records. So just having that feeling of like winning, like that was like that brought me back to like that high school feeling again. Because high school, like I never really lost like that. I probably lost like 3 games in high school.
Wow.
So just going into this year, I really want to win. I want to grow into my body, get stronger, get faster, get bigger. Actually been gaining a lot of weight since I got up here. So
Bulk season.
like just focusing on my body, like becoming a pro, like as far as just getting into the training room, that's something that I guess you could say the area I grew in so far this past month and a half. And just growing my knowledge like in the football room.
What's the farthest? What's the farthest you went in your high school career? How far did you go, like as a team?
State championship.
Did you win it?
Yeah, we won.
Oh,
we won.
man.
We won one. We lost one, and then we lost the semis my last 2 years.
And where did you go to high school?
Edna Carr.
Edna Carr. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it public school?
Yeah, real public school.
Nice.
There
Very
you
cool.
go.
So wait, Mike, I want interesting question. What number are you going to be wearing at Michigan State?
I'm doing number 7.
Number 7.
Nice.
All right. We're going to be looking out for you on the defensive side.
Sure, it's good. For sure.
So, what legacy? You have 1 year left. Your senior year. What legacy do you want to leave at Michigan State?
Legacy. Just a guy that played for the name on the front. You know, like I want to be like just a household name. Somebody that could say like, if you see me around or you see me up, man, like that's Mike. Like he gave it his all. Like like that. Like I don't ever want to be considered like somebody that played for themselves or just play for like accolades for themselves. Like I want to be like the guy that just one of those guys that helped the team win. That's really it.
That's
Nice.
awesome. So how do you define success for yourself as a player?
That's a good question. Success for myself as a player. Guess you could say being consistent. I think that's the hardest thing for like an athlete.
100%.
Just being consistent, like on and off the field. Because the off the field stuff really keep you on the field. School, training room, film. Just being a good person, like day in and day out, and having those traits just help you on the field. And like when you consistently doing something like every day, that just show that you're a reliable person. And when you consistent, like that brings that success because it's like, and I guess you can't say you're not really shocked by the success because you know what you've been doing day in and day out because you're consistent at doing it. So I think that brings that's for myself.
I love that answer. I love it when athletes or anybody just loves being saying you're consistent. That's just one of my favorite things to hear.
Mhm.
So, Mike, a little bit of a fun question here. If football didn't exist, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Man, right now, I honestly couldn't tell you. Uh, I really don't know, but I do know like my little brother, our pops. He has a construction business. So
Okay.
growing up with him, with my little brother dad, he used to always have us around. So like that's something I did like growing up just to make some like little side money, just to put some money in my pocket as a kid, things like that. Or when I'm back in town from like college and stuff, he'll have me come by the house. He'll help me paint things, pick up trash in the backyard, things like that, like off the job site and stuff. So that's probably what I'll be doing if I'm being honest.
Dad putting you to work.
Yeah, for sure.
Just
Money's
like
money.
us.
Money's money.
Money,
So
Money
money.
talks.
you you got any hobbies right now, or like?
I actually just play the game. Like that's really my go-to. Like I pretty much every day. Like I'm gonna make sure I get on the game.
I see the gaming chair in the back. It's
Yeah, for sure.
What's your top three games right now?
Call of Duty, NCAA, and GTA 5. That's
All right, all right. That's a good lineup. I like that.
yeah.
So, Mike, what do you want MSU fans to know about you with this upcoming season and just you personally as a player? What's the most important thing that you want MSU fans to know?
The most important thing. I play with a lot of passion. I was a really emotional kid, like just growing up and the things I've been through, the things like the mental things I've been through, physical things, whatever that may be. And I kind of turned that into like just my drive for football. Like that emotion I carry every day. I feel like you see that like in my play. Like I play real hard. Like I don't like to lose. So you might see it after the game, even though that might be a bad look. But I don't like losing. But I guess that stems from like that passion you have for like your team and like
Sure.
just the bond you just build with your team. Like you don't want to see your brother down. So just that passion I have.
Very cool, man. I love that.
back in. So, Mike, tell us where do you see yourself in the next couple years? Is it football? You got anything planned? Tell us a little
Could be
bit
that
about
construction.
Nah, for sure it could be. But honestly, the next few years, I really do hope to be in the NFL. But I'm a realistic person. Things not guaranteed. But I want to coach. Like that's what I
Nice.
want fulfill and the things I want to do. I think I had some real great coaches that impacted my life in all different sports: football, track, baseball, basketball, and just the life lessons and the things that I learned just throughout my journey so far. So far, like that's what I want to do. Like that's what I want to do. Just being able to reach kids and teach them and just help them grow on and off the field. Like that's what I want to do in these next few years.
What funny question. You played baseball. What position were you in baseball?
I played second, short, center field. I really played everything. If I'm being honest, I pitched a little
Utility
bit.
guy.
Yeah, I pitched a little bit like when I played travel ball. But kind of when I got to like 7th, 8th grade ball, high school, kind of left that to the actual pitchers, the ones that really used to like pitch for real.
Yeah.
But my main position was second base though. Like that's what I actually played.
Nice.
Nice. Well, hey, everyone. That's all I got from Mike today. Mike, I just want to say again, thank you so much for coming on, man. We had a blast with you. This was really cool to learn about you, and I'm really excited to see you at Michigan State this year.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, everyone. That's going to do it for this episode of the 2 Point Show. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.